This is just AMZN on Wednesday, June 2nd, 2021. So on the daily, I've got the downtrending line here along with the uptrending line. So we're definitely squeezing. This kind of illustrates we could go a couple more days. I don't know we're going to reach the apex over here. And actually, that would be the 9th, actually hit that. It seems like something's getting ready to happen sooner. Or, if we do just keep pushing sideways, then we could just kind of roll over instead of, a more explosive, bigger move. But that is yet to be seen. We actually have a bullish day. So 5 bearish days that didn't really go down much, but one bullish day. We opened up a little bit and most of the day was just really choppy, but we actually got a lot more movement throughout the day. Instead of, kind of a steady chop along the 21, you can see the 21 actually curved up and down quite a bit today. We had a few different patterns that popped up that did and didn't play out. So this is a really nice evening star reversal. This is a really nice morning star reversal. Right afterwards, it turned into a stair step that did not break down. Right afterwards, this turned into a stair step that did break out, kind of put in an S curve here. If you were looking for this to break down, well, obviously it didn't, but when it was holding these lows, it was also putting in some really nice hammers. So let's zoom in on the 5-minute here to see what was going on. So I thought this was really interesting. So evening star reversal, we did put in a slightly lower low than this candle. With this candle being so close, I would probably have just put an entry, if I was trading the stock, put an entry below this low to get in, and I think would not have been triggered into it. I mean, that's, I'm guessing I would have given this a little bit of space and would have barely been entered here. So we have a hammer here, hammer-ish sort of candle here. All making slightly higher highs higher lows, relative lows. And then I really like this candle that actually closed above these upper wicks. This candle retesting right back into the 21, right back into this high wave candle close. And then it really started to move. You got a really strong candle with higher volume. That retested almost into the 21. This looked like what was going on yesterday. And then very quickly ran up. We did have a squeeze that was going through that time, ran up here. This is not as clean of an evening star reversal. It's a little more of like a double top because it goes up, comes back down, kind of goes up, makes a second lower high, then rolls over. There's a really interesting gap right here. So I'm going to hold the cursor here. We had 1, 2, 3 bullish candles that actually closed above it. Each one then was taken out with a bear. Well, not taken out, but we did go lower, with this candle. Inside candle looked like we were going to break out. A lot of volume came in. A lot of people thinking it's going to go, and then just got obliterated and pushed all the way back down, made a new low on the day. So looking back at this, it looks like these two candles are trapping candles. It looks like the bulls are waiting for it to get above the high to go bullish. And over here, it looks like the bears are waiting for it to take out a new low, make a new low to go bearish. And really, we just have to think opposite. If we want to go bearish when it's making a new high, and all these bulls are getting trapped, and then go bullish when it's making a new low and all these bears are getting trapped down here. It seemed to just kind of work out like an opposite day. Anyway, one other thing I was noticing with where these reversals are, so the evening star reversal here, it didn't really happen in a good transition on the histogram, the red to yellow here, but the morning star reversal happened in a really good transition from the red to the yellow here. The evening star reversal should be happening somewhere from the cyan to the blue, and then a morning star reversal should be happening somewhere around the red to the yellow. I don't know that that's every time. It's not something I've gone back to study, but it seems like when something's reversing, we should have a reversal in the histogram, which is kind of the momentum of that move. Still, seemingly bearish, or could be seemingly bearish over here, but we're losing that bearishness. And that was a really good time to put it in morning star reversal or show that up in the histogram, put in a stair step, and then start to break out, you just continue to lose that bearishness. And then we just continued on up. We actually kind of accelerated here a bit, into the close. We got a lot more volume into the close, which a little bit higher volume than we did yesterday. So, and this is the most buying we had all day. So we had 30 minutes of buying here. We had 30 minutes of selling. No, 35 minutes of selling here. The range on the buying actually moved further than the range on the selling, coming back down, but both were about the same high. This is showing a close at, or a high at 32.35, a close just below it. The daily shows a little bit less, like we came off of it by about $1. But I would anticipate this buying to kind of continue up a little bit more tomorrow. So back in here, looking at the options, it would have been hard to be buying all the way down here, taking out lows, going into this with kind of the reversal mindset. But because of these stair steps that came right after, those give you really great entries, both over here if you were looking to go bearish, because that would have been a Morningstar reversal here on the 3200 put. So you'd want to get a move up, like this isn't the right option to do that because these are much wider candles. But you can look at the stair step going on through here and say, okay, what do I want? I want it to start to break up above like 1250. My stop would be down around like 950. Obviously, that's way too wide of a stop for what we talk about. But later in the day with the Morningstar reversal and this stair step, we look at the 3250 call. Now you've got some really small candles after the Morningstar reversal. The range on these were well under $1 for our risk. And these really could have gotten into like getting in like 650 by 550. It wouldn't quite have gotten below this low. The low here was 540, but it would have been really close. And I mean, pretty comfortable to have that kind of setup. And 650 actually would have worked way over here. It came down to 622 on this low. So even if you missed getting in on, like, say, this candle, you could have kept the order open, probably would have been filled on this candle, this one here. But then you had more opportunities over here as it pushed up, came back down a little bit, and then just started to really put in that S curve. And so this was a setup you could have gotten into, like I said, 650 by 550, going up to a 950 target for 3 hours. 950 is also really close to this high. Yeah, 947. So that would have been a good place to get out. And you wouldn't have known that it was going to continue. But it seems like we've had some nice moves. Once we've consolidated a bit, or we've gotten that breakout and S curve, we've really had kind of a little bit of a bounce off of the 21. So I'm seeing that both, right here with this candle, and then right here with this candle, kind of high wave candles bouncing off the 21, and we have, like 20 minutes or 15, 20 minutes of some buying after it. So some key candles there. They're both coming after, some sort of like a little bit of a flag. This one's a little bit more drawn out. It goes a little bit wider here than this earlier one. But still, you get the stair step, you get a breakout, stair step, breakout into a flag or an S curve and bullish. And so I saw that happening twice today. It's really interesting. If it's happening here and then it doesn't work, it didn't go any further. And then you can see the same setup playing out over in here. It's like, oh, I wonder if it's going to do, even if it's going to run up to around the same price. And really it did. 32.35 was the high right here in this candle. And then we're 8 cents below it here. And then 32.35, we hit the same high on this candle and this candle. We had taken out this low. I don't know, it seems like we might push up a little bit more. We've got a little more room to go to touch the 21 again, put another bullish candle, and then, I don't know. If this really were to continue up, like I said, we need to get a solid close above the 21 outside of this new purple line. And it's just funny, like all right, I'll show you now. So I have all these, kind of these ranges on here from other times, just trying to get that the best fit. So I grabbed this same range here, copied that, and put it here, lining up with, all right, this is what's going to seem kind of crazy. So if you try to draw this same range, so this same level where I've got the lows connected to the high here, and we tagged this pivot here. If you grab that, so I'll just do it again. So duplicate, isn't taking it. Duplicate channel. There you go. And then see, that's the same range. Okay. So from right here, if you take this, and we've got the lows here, but if I line it up with the high, or at least kind of the open price of this candle, it lines up really well with some of the highs through here. Pushed above it a little bit here, broke out, false breakout here, tagging all these wicks. It doesn't come into a compression like we're seeing now here. That didn't happen back in March in this section. It didn't, continue sideways into, middle of April. We broke out. But what's interesting is the same range that we broke out to hit this high that I had drawn this to, where we hit this high wave, this upper wick candle here. We've got some of those same candles like up here. Like all I did was move this range based off of an open price, lined up really well here. And then I'm looking at this, it's like, oh, wow, there's only been 2 bullish closes above that. Most of the candles that are selling off from here have been bearish candles that would have been great to know, oh, there's a good place if we get up there, let's just sell it. Aside from, that. But this broke down, 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 this broke down. We haven't touched it in 4 days now. That's where this is coming from. So it's just really cool when some lines just, the same range matches up really well with something else. And obviously I could have aimed for like a gap here. And then, if I move it to like that gap, it's like, oh, it's not going to work as well. It maybe touches that one, but not the rest. And we've got, what's interesting, if you compare these things, we've got a very similar gap here, back into some of this choppy range. There's a lot of similarities here. So, I'm just seeing so much kind of, let me change, not purple. Let me do some other color, orange maybe. Okay, so this gap here looks similar to this gap here. And then we've got this, compression. We had this kind of compression, and I guess I can draw that a little wider here. So this went on for a lot longer than what we're seeing now. And this is compressed. This one has compressed a whole lot more, a whole lot tighter than this one compressed. This one actually probably was doing this and then started to get a little choppier, like outside of the range, but anyway, there's definitely some similarities with this as we're seeing here. And it's just a matter of, are we going to compress like we did at this point and break out? What point are we at now? We only have a couple more days in here where this compression seems to fit. I'm expecting a bigger breakout. We've got a squeeze forming. Kind of now's the time to get in. We're holding below the 21 really well, like obnoxiously well. We got above it a little bit here, kind of some early false breakouts. We didn't do that with bullish candles at all here. There's only been a little bit of bearishness, a little bit of bear candles here. So this, this could just gap up tomorrow and then just fade, come all the way back down here. It could start a breakout. Or we could, put in another couple, sideways candles in here, really fill this out, and then do a breakout or a breakdown. I don't know. Let's see what it does. Right now with, the momentum like we were just talking about, we could continue this way. We've got a similar squeeze forming. We're almost out of the histogram here being, less and less negative. So that was happening at this point where this squeeze was forming. Right now we've got a squeeze here. We haven't really picked a direction yet. This one, it seems like we were picking it with some bullish looking candles. So that's just the comparisons. I guess we'll just really have to wait and see and then play it when it happens. But yeah, hope this helps. This is just AMZN. Thanks.